crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. I'm going to change my colour scheme to use soft sky. So to start off with the card pieces you're going to need. The card base is 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, scored and folded at 4 1/8, which is 21 centimetres by 14.5 centimetres, scored and folded at 10.5 centimetres. And then you need 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock, which measure 4 inches by 5 7/8 inches, which is 10.25 by 14.25 centimetres. And a piece of Designer Series paper. I'm using the Falling in Love set, and this measures 3 7/8 inches by 5.5 inches, which is 10 by 14 centimetres. And then you'll need a piece of soft sky, approximately 3 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which is 7.5 by 15 centimetres. 2 pieces of crumb cake, one that measures approximately 1 3/4 inches by 6 3/4 inches, which is 4.5 centimetres by 17 centimetres, and the other one is approximately 1 inch by 5.5 inches, which is 2.5 by 14 centimetres. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll do the die cutting first, and then the stamping, and then put the card together. So the die cutting, I need those 2 and that one. So I'll bring my big shot over. Now with the butterfly, I've made that by using the butterfly die, and for the antennae I've used a bow die, which is one thing I want to show you. So you need to do 3 of the butterfly and 3 of the bows. I'm only going to do 1 because I've already made the other 2. Okay, so I'll show you the die sets that I'm using, if I can get them here. Right, the small butterfly comes from the Bold Butterfly Framelits set. The bow comes from the mini treat bag set. They're Thinlits. And the delicate framelit, that is from So Detailed Thinlits, which is a set of 3. Okay, I will be doing a video one day, hopefully not in the too distant future, showing how I store my framelits, my dies. Right, so I'm only, as I say, I'm only going to do 1 of each of these. And for this one, I'm using my magnetic platform and 2 cutting mats. And I find that they cut very nicely if I do them just twice, but on the second time moving them very slightly, just changing the position a bit. They do work with just 1 cut through, but I just find that it's a better cut if you do it twice. Lovely. If I just put that there for the time being. Lovely. And I don't need any of this because I'm going to bring over my regular platform and my what's this one called? I know you're shouting at me. I'll put the name on the screen. Anyway, I'm using that and 1 cutting mat. Precision, that's the precision base plate. Right, okay, so I just pop that into place, and I'm going to put it through twice, which I normally find is enough. That's it. That's once. And just bring it back again. That's it. And I'm going to pop this onto my little sponge mat, which comes with the die brush. As you can see, some of the pieces are falling out already. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. Bring this in. And this is the die brush. It's come away from all of that already. And just gently go over, and this will push all the pieces out for you. And then this comes off as well. Okay, there's just one piece left there. Brilliant. And I think that's left that clean as well. Yep, nothing left in there. Okay, so that can go over there. Let's empty that bit. And I'll bring the other two in. Don't really need to do that back to front. There we go, so that's a bow. And butterfly. And that's all done except for one piece as well. And that's left that one clean. Right, let's clear that up as well. So I'm just going to give these, not with that one, a brush with my stiff brush, because I find that my butterfly and this bow can be a bit hairy at times. And as far as the brush is concerned, I do know people who just use a stiff toothbrush for this. I've not tried it myself because I've always had this brush to do it with, and it works brilliantly. But I do understand the toothbrush works well. So there we go. Well, you may not be bothered about the hairy bits. Oops. I'm having a demolishing the setup here. Right, so now the stamping. So the inside piece I'm going to do butterflies on, like that, and this piece I'm going to put the congratulations on here. And congratulations I'm using comes from the So In Love stamp set, this one. It's congratulations. You could do a day to celebrate or happy anniversary, whichever, but I like the congratulations because I like that squiggly bit underneath. So that's what I'm going to use. Now, to get this straight, it's going to be difficult to show you because I can't get my head over the camera. But what I do is I line this up with a line down there, and then with this up the right way, I try and get that, the bottom of the S and the bottom of the C lined up on the line there. I think I'm going to go up one line, and from where I'm sitting that looks as if it's on there straight. Yep, that looks straight. So what I'm going to do to test this, although the colour scheme that I'm using is actually soft sky, for my inking I'm going to be using Pool Party because it is a bit darker. So what oh, I pushed that too hard again. Don't know my strength, do I? That's better. So I'm going to just do a test on here. I'll bring it down close so that I can see what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is I'm making sure that my block is straight with the line down there, and if that is straight, if it stamps out straight, then I know I've got my stamp on the block straight, which not particularly, so I know I need to tilt it very slightly, and that's all I do. I don't get myself too worked up about this because it is quite straight and it's relatively easy to do. Right, now I just need to clean that because I'm going to do heat embossing with it. And when you're heat embossing, what you need to do that very carefully so I don't knock it off the block and have to reset it again. When you do the heat embossing, you need to ink your stamp first with Versamark and then stamp it into the colour and then stamp down onto your cardstock or your DSP, whatever you're using, and then dunk it into some clear embossing powder. So I'll just bring that over as well, or sprinkle embossing powder over it if you don't keep yours in a box. Right, so emboss Versamark first. Make sure it's up the right way. What I'm doing this time, another change I'm going to make. Whereas I've got the congratulations down here with the flowers going upwards, I'm going to do it the other way this time. I'm going to do my congratulations up there and then turn this round so that that line is towards the top. Okay, I just want to see what the different options are. So I need to put my congratulations up there. Okay, so let's do that again. That's the Versamark, making sure it's around the right way. And then the pool party. And then line that up nice and straight so I can put this on straight, but I know I've got to tilt it very slightly. Make sure I'm about halfway across. Okay, let's see how we've done on that. There we go, well done. In fact, I should have gone over that first with my embossing buddy, but it doesn't look as if I've done any harm. I will just go over it with my paintbrush just in case there's anything lurking there. It really is important to use your embossing buddy for this. Don't know whether there is any there or not. Well, that felt clean. Right, I'm going to assume it is okay. I'll bring my heat tool in. This won't take a couple of minutes to do, so excuse the noise. Okay. It's faint, but I think it's quite dark enough for the colour scheme that's going on here. So the next thing, stamping, let's stick with the stamping. On, what did I use in here? I think yes, basic butterflies in here. And for this one I thought I would use the two butterflies from the Papillon Potpourri. And they're quite big, so I'm going to do them so they come off the page very slightly. Well, that's what I'm aiming for. It may not quite work out like that because I'm not using a Stampin-A-Jig. I think I've got come off the page. Oh, just about. Okay, so let's do the baby butterfly as well. see if we can get that on and off. Yes, that's good. There we go. That's fine, that's what I wanted. So next, I think if we put the top two layers together, because I need to put this piece on and then put the ribbon around it. So I'm going to be using not snail, Tombow, but you can use snail for this. Or any adhesive of your choice. There we go. Got a little finger mark of glue there, but I wonder if I can just rub it off at the moment, or whether I should come back later and use my adhesive eraser. Should really wait till it's dry. But if you go very, very careful, you can get away with it. There we go, that's alright. So I'm going to put this on first, and it's going to be going that way this time. So if I use my silicone mat, and again I'm using Tombow, if when you're using Tombow, if you think that you've put too much glue on it, just blot it on a piece of scrap paper, and that will take the worst of the glue off, but still leave enough to adhere your image or whatever it is that you're trying to stick down. It'll still leave it sticky enough. I tend to blot these very, very detailed ones anyway, so I can show you what I mean. It works even though you're not, you haven't overdone the glue. It'll spread out what you have put on there, and just leave it on your cardstock. There we go, I think that's on enough places. So let's bring that piece of paper back and my tweezers, and I just very quickly just dunk it down and back up again, and then I can pop it down here, and I'm doing so that this comes down to the edge here, and then this fits on there. But if I do it like that, I should be able to make sure I get it straight. Yep, that looks about right. There we go, see, it's all stuck down really nicely now, and it's not sticky, which surprises me, because when I do things like that, it normally does come up a bit sticky. Right, so what I want to do now is to put my ribbon on here, and I'm using the stitched satin ribbon, and this is in Pool Party. It's quite easy to mix and match with Pool Party and Soft Sky. I just take a piece of ribbon, and I do prefer that side of the ribbon rather than the shiny side. I'm not quite sure which is the right side. I feel that should be the wrong side, the one that I like. But the fact I like it suggests maybe it is the right one, if that makes any sense at all. I'm just going to put some snail on either end of the ribbon, and I want to make sure that I've got a little bit that comes over so that some of the snail will actually stick to the front of the card. I did this the other day and I found it made life so much easier. Right, let's get this straight. Okay, so it's just under that line, that's good. I'm just going to, there we go, lovely. That fits on nice, and because there's some glue just there, that should hold it. I'm trying not to push it too hard because otherwise it's going to get stuck to the didn't take that far enough, that's why that's not doing it. Let's put a little bit more on. That's it. Let's try that one again. Line that up. Straight with that. Oh, it's almost sitting on that line, that's good. So almost sitting on that one. That's it. How much easier is that? Now I'm going to pop this one onto here. Oh, something you could do as well on this, you could have done that, you could have painted over that with your Wink of Stella clear glitter pen, because that's what I've done with my butterflies. It's a matter of choice. I can hear a police siren the other side of the valley. I wonder if you can. We've been feeling the fury of Storm Doris today. The wind's been really howling, and normally it howls something wicked in my studio here, but it's been very, very quiet. So hopefully it's not been as bad as I suspected it would be. I'm just going to pop this on. Oh, by the way, I hope you noticed that I put extra glue onto the ribbon, just to make sure that that adheres down really well. There we go. So now I need my butterflies. Here's the first two that I've done, and I've done them both with Wink of Stella. So I will do this one as well. Now these are my pieces, so how I do this is, first of all, I will get my scrap of paper back and my Wink of Stella pen, paint over my butterfly, this Wink of Stella is absolutely amazing. There we go, that's that one. And I'm going to do the antennae as well, which is just these two legs of the bow. Now what I do with this is, first of all, with a pair of nice sharp scissors, as you can see, oh, here we go, I can show you on the white here. As you can see, this antennae here is a lot more curved than that one, so I straighten this up a bit. Let me put one of those on there so you can see. Okay, so that's the look that I'm aiming for. This one here, I personally find it's too small to actually cut in a curve, so I just cut a piece off and then keep going around snipping off the pointed bits, and eventually it looks curved enough. Go back a bit because that's a bit pointed. There we go, I think that's alright. There you go. See that? So once I've done that, I mean, yes, they are different lengths at the moment, but that's no problem. Let's turn this butterfly over. And again, with my scissors, what I'm going to do is, move that, that's better. I'm going to cut at an angle with that antennae, so that comes off. And then again with that one. Now you can either leave these two attached, or if you want to separate them, you can, like that. Let's get rid of those two. And then you need to put some glue on here, whether you're using snail or Tombow, fast fuse, or whatever you like to use. And then I'm going to put one antennae on, making sure that you keep the shiny side face down, and then just position that where you think it looks as if it's going to be the right place. Then bring the other one up, put that in position so they look as if they're the same height. Now the advantage of using Tombow for this is when you turn it over, if you find one is too high, like that one's a bit on the high side, you can just go in and drag it down a bit. Okay, so that looks perfect to me. Right, so that's how easy it is to give these butterfly antennae. So what I'm going to do next is put them on here, and then I will give them bodies, pearls for bodies rather. So what I do, just give them, fold them by the side of their wings so that you get a straight line there, so you've got room to put your glue. I do that on all three. And again, whatever glue you like to use, I put some down the length of the body and just a tiny dab on the ends of the antennae, and then decide where I want this one to go. This one I tend to put at the top of the ribbons at an angle, and then for the next one do the same but down this end. So that's some Tombow down there and just a tiny little bit there. That looks as if it's a bit much there, so I'm just dabbing that off onto the scrap paper. And then this one, putting that at an angle. Just make sure that when you put it at an angle like this, you're not doing it so that when that flattens down it's too far off, so your card won't go into your envelope. And then you can choose where you want to put the last one. Let's just hold that bit down for a minute. Tombow does appreciate 4 or 5 seconds just to be allowed a chance to get a grip. Okay, so there we go, there's that. I'm going to use some pearls for the body, as I say. On this one I had some leftover of our candy dots, so I used those, but I don't particularly like them for the butterflies. I think because I tended to use those for more masculine cards, and that's how I see them now. Now, I think I'm going to use the larger pearls, if I have any here, and don't tell me that I don't. What's this? No, it looks as if we're going to have the smaller ones. Okay, that's fine. Let's put that lid back on. So I'm going to cut into lengths of 4 for the length of the bodies, I think. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that looks good. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I do those 2 and one more. So using my paper piercer just to make sure I get underneath the adhesive that runs down holding these pearls together. 4 is a lovely amount. Look at that, fits beautifully. That one. And then this one, then it's just a question of doing the inside of the card. There we go. Nice bit of sparkle and some nice pearls. Right. Again, I'm going to use Tombow for the inside of my card. Make sure I put the butterflies in the right direction. There we go. So there's today's project. I think that looks just as nice as the pink one. In fact, I do prefer the blue one, but that I think is just because I'm not so keen on these for butterflies. But there we go. Many thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this project. If you have any comments or any questions to ask, please leave them in the comments box below. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I featured here today, please click on the 24/7 link. The link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop, which again is below the video. If you've enjoyed my video and you would like to know each time I upload another one, which is normally on Sundays and Wednesdays, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on this subscribe button. And I will be putting all the products that I've used and the product numbers and all the measurements in the box below the video. So if you click on where it says show more underneath the video, that will open the box up and all the information will be in there for you. I do appreciate that not all devices will show you what's written on the screen, so I make it nice and handy and put it down there. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.